I don't think any of us would say that Jameson Williams has struggled necessarily since coming to the NFL, since joining the Detroit Lions, and now having played 5 games. But I think we can all say that we kind of feel like it's been underwhelming, or at least the usage of him has been underwhelming in how the Lions are deploying him. And so finally, we have a second Lions coach that is speaking out about this. And can I just pause for a second and say, this is what I love about the Detroit Lions coaching staff. It's not just Dan Campbell that's going to be honest. Now we have Ben Johnson being flat honest. And he admitted this week, he flat out said he hoped it would click faster for rookie wide receiver Jameson Williams. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. We all hoped it would click faster. Like we 100% would. And I'm glad you're saying the same thing. But at the same time, we need to be careful with stuff like this. We need to be careful saying things like this. This is a rookie. And if it's not clicking, right? That's the word. That's mental. That's not physical. We've seen the physical tools. We've seen the touchdown pass against the Vikings. We've seen the 40-yard end around. We've seen these different things where it goes. So when we're saying it's not clicking, we're talking about the mental game. And what Ben Johnson has calculated and what he's decided is that the best way to motivate his young receiver is by, quote unquote, calling him out a little bit in the media. It's not always a bad thing. Maybe it's a little bit of a, hey, rookie, this is the NFL. Get your head in the game. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like, but let's jump into what he said exactly, because I don't want to mince words and just have you hear it. So again, let's look at the facts. It's been 5 weeks. He had a touchdown against the Vikings. And like I said, that 40-yard run against the Bears. He has dropped 2 passes from Goff as well. And the duo doesn't seem in sync. There's an underthrow by Goff as well. Actually, Johnson talks about that. So in his weekly meeting with the press, he admitted that he thought Williams would have produced a little bit more already. Maybe he's getting caught up in the moment. I don't know, but I'm going to read the quote for you. And it's a long quote. Stay tuned. He said this. Yeah, I mean, it's each week we're trying to push the envelope a little bit and maybe learn a couple of different routes that he hasn't been taught yet, or put him in a little different spot, Johnson said of Williams. And then he goes on to say, so yeah, each week we're trying to do that. And it's just how fast can we get him along, feeling comfortable with it. And it's been, I hoped it would click just a little bit faster than it has. I think we all have. That's telling. But then he goes on to do the coach speak thing. And he goes, but it takes time. A lot of pauses here. It takes time and we're not losing faith. Wait a minute. Pause. I'm going to pause now. Now I'm pausing. What do you mean you're not losing faith? I hope not. It's been 5 games. It took Amon-Ra St. Brown 8 games, 9 games, and he had a preseason and a training camp. Like, I hope you're not losing faith yet. This guy's coming off a torn ACL. He's still wondering if his knee is going to hold up in the rigors of playing football, much less playing NFL football at game speed. Like, you can sit here and talk about whatever you want. You brought him back really fast. Like, it was, no, we're not going to come back. We're not going to come back. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's playing against the Jaguars. He's able to practice, and now he's in. We threw him in the fire. He's a rookie. I don't think there are a ton of rookie wide receivers that could be thrown in the fire in week 12 and then be producing at a high level in week 17. I just don't think that's a thing. I think with a rookie, you expect to ease them in, which we're trying to do, but they have a training camp. I can't say this enough. They have a preseason. And then you hope they start producing at a high level halfway through their first year. Jameson Williams isn't even, if he had started in training camp, he's like in his second preseason game now. Like, I think we need to take into account and take into fact that that's happening. So let's continue to see what Ben Johnson said. He said, but that's it. It takes time sometimes, and we're not losing faith. I hope not. We're going to keep pushing or pressing it, and it'll end up clicking. At some point, we'll have a big game and be like, okay, that's why. And that's why we took him where we took him. And that's why he can help us so much. Okay. Where we took him. We traded up to get him. right? We traded up to number 11 or 12. I don't remember the exact pick. I think it was 11, right? Don't murder me on that. But we traded up. We used our capital, first and second round capital, to get up. That was the Rams pick that we used to move up there, and our early second round pick, and we ended up moving back in the second round. So that's what we're looking at with this. And I just want to be clear on this. The expectation is that he's an elite wide receiver. The expectation is that he's a future number one. The expectation is that he produces at a level equal to or greater than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Maybe not in volume of catches, but in explosiveness and big playability, he's supposed to be the future. He's supposed to be DJ Chark on steroids. Okay, I'm not saying he's taking steroids. Stop it, right? But that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be this electrifying elite athlete. He's supposed to be what Christian Watson of the Green Bay Packers wasn't ready to be. Just a little bit faster and a little bit more refined. That's what he's supposed to be, with better hands. So he's supposed to be Deshaun Jackson. He's supposed to be not Tyreek Hill. Everybody makes that comparison. That's not what it is. But he is supposed to be an elite speed wide receiver. You saw it on the end around. You saw it when he beat the Vikings defense. But in order to utilize that, in order to become that elite speed wide receiver, he has to learn the route tree. He has to learn what it looks like to understand the difference between man and zone. He has to understand, do I keep going across the field on this slant against man, or do I settle in against the zone? He has to earn the trust of his quarterback, Jared Goff, because Jared Goff, remember, hasn't thrown an interception since the last time we played the Green Bay Packers in week 8 or 9. I forget what it was, but in game 8. So he hasn't thrown an interception because he has confidence in Josh Reynolds. He hasn't thrown an interception because he has confidence in DJ Chark. He hasn't thrown an interception because he has confidence in Amon-Ra St. Brown that they're going to run the correct route and that they are going to then catch the ball when it's thrown to them. We got 2 drops already from J-Mo. All right, so he needs to adjust to the speed of the game. It is hard enough to adjust back to the speed of the game you're playing when you tear an ACL or you have a major injury that keeps you up for a year. It is, I'm going to make the argument, 10 times harder to make the adjustment to go from I need to adjust back to the speed of football plus jump a level. It's going to take the kid time. And we're going to see him break out next year. If we see him break out this year, you know he's dang special because that is ahead of every curve it should. All right, that's what I got for you in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. Would absolutely love to have you subscribe to the channel. We hope to be the best place for Detroit Lions, Detroit Pistons content. Hit the comment section below. Am I expecting too little out of Williams, or am I on par, or am I even expecting too much? I don't know how I am, but let me know in your comments below. Let's get at it. See ya.